Once upon a time, in a small village nestled between rolling hills and a sparkling lake, there lived a young woman named Elara. Elara was known throughout the village for her radiant smile and her heart that knew no bounds when it came to helping others. She had a unique gift for making everyone around her feel seen, heard, and valued. Whether it was lending a hand to an elderly neighbor or offering a listening ear to a friend, Elara's acts of kindness were as numerous as they were thoughtful. The monster, the storyteller continued, is invisible, intangible, yet its presence is felt in the paralysis it induces, the dreams it crushes, and the hopes it extinguishes. A collective gasp escaped the villagers. They had heard stories of such monsters, but to hear it from a seasoned traveler like this, it was chilling. But when we choose to confront them, when we turn our perspective around, the monster loses its power over us. One day, a stranger arrived in the village. He was a storyteller, a traveler who'd roamed far. Her grandmother had once told her, "Our thoughts are like mirrors. Would you like to visit the lake tomorrow? I believe you'll find a story waiting for you there." The storyteller, intrigued by her enthusiasm, readily agreed. "I can't seem to remember the story," he said, his voice flat. "It's gone. I've forgotten it." Elara's confusion turned to understanding. She realized the storyteller wasn't just forgetting the story. He was choosing not to tell it, to give in to the monster of fear and doubt instead. From that day on, the storyteller continued to travel, sharing his stories and reminding everyone he met of the importance of challenging fear and doubt. And Elara, with her radiant smile and kind heart, continued to be a beacon of positivity in her village, proving that sometimes all it takes to conquer the darkest of monsters is a little perspective and a lot of heart. His usual dramatic flair was absent. His voice lacked its previous energy. Confused, she looked at him questioningly. "You said the weapon against that monster was perspective," she said softly. "Perhaps the monster is trying to trick you again, whispering doubts and fears so you won't share your stories. They reflect back at us the world we see. If we see the good, our thoughts will be positive." Together they sat on a nearby hill overlooking the water. And after a while, the storyteller began his tale. "If we focus on the bad, our thoughts will be negative. But there's a way to defeat this monster, a weapon that can banish it from your life forever. That weapon is perspective." With each word, the monster seemed to ride as if sensing the threat it was under. The villagers leaned closer, their eyes wide with anticipation. And wide, collecting tales like precious gems and sharing them with anyone who'd sit by his side and listen. As the night deepened, the storyteller's voice grew softer, his eyes twinkling with an otherworldly light. "There's a monster," he began, his voice dropping to a dramatic whisper. "A terrible monster that lurks in the shadows, preying on the fears and insecurities of those it encounters. It feeds on their doubts, growing stronger with each negative thought, each moment of despair." "You're right," he said, his voice regaining its strength. "Why should a silly monster like that win?" "I have stories to tell, tales that bring joy and hope to people's hearts. I won't let him defeat me." With renewed vigor, he began his story, his voice echoing with power. The villagers, always eager for a good story, gathered around him, their faces illuminated by the firelight as he wove tales of daring adventures and magical lands. Among them sat Elara, completely engrossed in the stories. A chill ran down Elara's spine. The storyteller paused, letting the weight of his words sink in before adding. The storyteller spoke slowly. "You see, the monster thrives in the darkness of ignorance. It grows when we let our fears and insecurities define us." Elara pondered these words. She had always believed in the power of perspective. Suddenly, Elara had an idea. She stood up, her eyes shining with determination. She walked up to the storyteller and asked. The next day, Elara led the storyteller to the lake, its surface as smooth and clear as glass, reflecting the sky above. "Once upon a time," he started, and as he wove his story, Elara noticed something peculiar. The storyteller stopped mid-sentence. He looked at Elara, a strange expression on his face. Taking a deep breath, Elara spoke. She reminded him of the previous night's tale. The one about the monster that fed on fear. The storyteller's eyes widened. He looked at Alara, then back at the lake. A slow smile spread across his face. And as he spoke, Alara knew that the monster had lost its hold on him. The power of perspective had triumphed.